Today's news.
Colorado protesters attacked.
The fact that this is happening to Jews in my local community makes me scared.
Anguish and death at Gaza relief site. Drones hit deep into Russia.
Ukraine targeted the enemy more than 2,500 miles from the front line.
Good morning, I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, police are calling it a possible terror attack. A man used a makeshift flamethrower to try to set people on fire in Boulder, Colorado. They gathered to call attention to Israeli hostages in Gaza. CBS's Jason Allen says 8 people were hurt and a suspect is in custody.
People rushed to treat burn victims with water after police say a man allegedly used a makeshift flamethrower to attack a group gathering on Boulder's Pearl Street Sunday.
It was chaos. People were writhing on the ground. It was traumatic to watch.
Crowds tended to the 8 people, aged 52 to 88, who were injured in the attack. Others stood around the alleged suspect, who was just feet away, yelling anti-Israel expressions. The FBI says 45-year-old Mohammed Solomon targeted the Boulder Run for Their Lives march, which raises awareness for Israeli hostages in Gaza.
It is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
He's been waiting for us gasoline, with Molotov cocktails, and once we gathered, he decided to attack.
Omer Shaka was leading yesterday's walk.
It's hard to share the moment of you see flames behind your friend's screams. It's chaotic.
Investigators are now digging into the suspect's background and social media posts, trying to determine if he allegedly acted alone, was directed by a terrorist organization, or was influenced by extremist ideology. U.S. officials confirmed to CBS News the suspect, Solomon, is an Egyptian national who arrived at LAX in 2022 and overstayed his non-immigrant visa.
In Gaza, local officials say more than 50 people were killed yesterday while trying to get food at a humanitarian site. CBS News correspondent Imtiaz Tayeb.
CBS News cameras were there when body after body arrived at Gaza's Nasser Hospital. Doctors and nurses have called this a mass casualty event. Eyewitnesses said Israeli forces opened fire near a controversial aid distribution point in the southern city of Rafah. Dozens were killed and over 200 wounded, most suffering from gunshot injuries, according to health officials, including British doctor Victoria Rose.
It's very difficult to think that they were just looking for food and now they're injured and they're on our operating tables.
Ukraine says its drone attack deep inside Russia yesterday took out more than 1/3 of Moscow's strategic bombers. CBS's Ramy Inocencia.
Bomber after Russian bomber blown to pieces in explosion after explosion, targeting 5 Russian air bases across the country. The closest, about 300 miles from the war's front line. The furthest, more than 3,700 miles away in Russia's Far East. Making it one for the history books, said Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. A brilliant operation was carried out, he said, and the people who helped us are safe, extracted from Russia before the operation.
Well, President Trump's new 50% tariff on steel and aluminum imports kicks in this week. CBS News White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
With legal challenges to the president's tariffs proceeding and no big trade deal in sight, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick insists deals are coming.
We could sign lots of deals now, but I think we're trying to make them better and better and better.
But China remains a big sticking point. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent once again called out Beijing for violating a truce reached last month to lift some tariffs and restart exports of rare materials.
What China is doing, they are holding back products that are essential for the industrial supply chain.
Bessent says he expects Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping to speak soon to jumpstart trade talks.
4 minutes after the hour.
It's 51 degrees in Healdsburg, California. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dashcam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love,